My name is Keigo Hayakawa. I'm 29 and work at the Lovekoi Bank head office. I work for the credit department. It's a department that oversees credit transactions, mainly savings.
Hayakawa-san, you have a call from Branch 2?
Oh, thank you. We often receive inquiries from sales offices, and it is an important role of the credit department to inform them of correct business procedures. Oh, seriously? Sorry, I'll check. Koyama, my colleague, is sitting across from me. I'm motivated. He was actually a classmate of mine. He came to our bank this year as a mid-career hire. According to what I heard, he has connections with the higher-ups or something. Well, it's none of my business.
Hey, Hayakawa, we got an inquiry from Branch 2. They said they haven't received the funds, huh?
Huh? That can't be true. I checked properly earlier. You again, huh? The head of the department, who was listening to our exchange, says coldly. It's not my mistake. Sure, it's my job to manage the fund requests from the sales office. But I'm sure I didn't receive any requests from Branch 2 today.
Your excuses are unsightly. It is important to admit your mistakes honestly, Hayakawa.
Koyama is grinning and looking a little creepy. This guy definitely knows something. The woman staring at me without expression is Ran Osaki, the credit department manager. She's my boss. Manager Osaki must be appalled at me. Koyama started bugging me when we were in high school.
Hayakawa-kun? Will you go out with me?
Well, I'm happy to hear your feelings, but I'm sorry. I want to concentrate on club activities now. She was said to be the most popular girl in class. For some reason, she confessed her feelings to me in the presence of many other classmates, including Koyama. According to what my friends told me later, Koyama had feelings for her.
Who do you think you are? Idiot! Idiot!
Whoa, Hayakawa! Are you okay? Huh? Why am I hung here? Since that confession, I was hung everywhere by Koyama. Now that I think about it, it's a crime. I guess he didn't like the fact that the girl he liked me. And it's still going on in an insidious way even now that we are adults. After dealing with the funding request, I take a breath. Koyama was a simpleton in the past, but over the years, he seems to have become quite cunning. I hope I can catch his misdeeds at some point. A lot of mishaps have been happening to me lately. This is just speculation, but it could be that Koyama is setting me up and blaming me for mistakes. While I'm thinking, the phone of the credit department rings. This is Hayakawa, credit department, head office.
Hayakawa-san, excuse me, is Manager Osaki free? I have an inquiry about credit, and I'm keeping a customer waiting.
Inquiries from the sales office are diverse. That's how much work there is at the sales office too. Please wait a moment. I'll put you on the line with her.
Yes, this is Osaki. What's up? Oh, well then.
Manager takes out the office handbook without hesitation from her desk.
Yeah, just tell them that and you'll be fine. If you're not sure, it's on page 115 of the office handbook.
She's amazing. She doesn't need to look at the handbook to answer anything. The amount of paperwork involved in financial transactions is enormous. The teller often fumbles around with a handbook in hand until they get used to it. I wonder if she has all the procedures memorized. She's so cool. Manager puts down the receiver with a click, looks at me, and her cheeks turn a little embarrassed.
Don't look at me so passionately, okay, Hayakawa-kun?
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
You couldn't help it? Don't say such a line so casually. You're making me blush.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
There's nothing to apologize for. Anyway, what were you trying so hard to write down?
So you saw. I'm still not very familiar with all the paperwork involved, so I always scribble down what you do. My notebook was tattered and dirty from scribbling. When I showed them to the manager, she looked at me with surprise. I just want to be dependable like you, so...
Hayakawa-kun.
So I've always wondered. Manager, Are you perhaps friends with a blue cat-shaped robot?
What? Huh? The blue cat-shaped robot? That famous one?
Yes, that's right. I'm sure you got some kind of a futuristic item from him to memorize all that. That's how incredible you are. Your memorizing skills.
Unfortunately, I have never been given such a wonderful tool from the future.
The blue cat-shaped robot in a famous anime gives you all sorts of useful items from the future. Oh man, I was gonna ask you to lend it to me.
Hayakawa-kun, you seem so serious and all of a sudden you joke around.
I'm not kidding, I'm always serious. I wonder what other items could be useful for me. What futuristic tool do you guys want the most? Let me know in the comments. Since then, I've been blamed by Koyama for mistakes over and over again. Hey, Hayakawa-kun! How many times do I have to tell you? There's no limit to your incompetence. Next time you make a mistake, you'll be fired. I think you should leave all your work to Koyama-kun. What do you think? Koyama is grinning while I'm being scolded. I can only think that he set this up. I mean, you're always... Manager Osaki approaches us when he was about to say something.
Sir, his mistake is also my mistake as his direct supervisor. I apologize. I will teach him a lesson, so may I take him away?
Well, if you say so, I'll leave it to you.
Thank you very much. Now if you'll excuse me.
I'm sorry for making you apologize for me.
Don't worry about it. It's only natural to bow down for the sake of my subordinates, isn't it? More importantly, isn't something bothering you?
No, it's all good. Sorry to worry you. Manager stares at me as I let out a dry laugh. My heart throbs. I wonder if the manager suspects me of making mistakes too. That's kinda sad.
Hey, Hayakawa-kun, I'd like to ask you to do this job for me.
Huh? She holds out a document to me. She doesn't seem to care about what just happened.
I've already given you a lot of responsibility, so if it's too much for you, I'll turn it over to someone else. What do you think?
The paperwork she handed to me described how to handle the checks sent from the sales office.
As you know, checks are very important because they involve huge amounts of money. It has to be handled promptly and carefully because there are due dates too. So, can I leave it to you?
She's watched me get scolded by the director so many times, yet she still trusts me. Thank you. Let me do it.
I knew you would say that. Thank you too, Hayakawa-kun. Don't hesitate to ask me anything you don't understand, okay?
I'll do my best not to bother you.
Don't worry about that. If you feel even a little uneasy, ask me, okay? Vague self-judgment is a recipe for mistakes.
Understood. Thank you, manager. What's wrong?
It's nothing. Just know that I know you're serious and a sincere person. Don't worry. I am watching you properly, so just hang in there.
She puts her hand on my shoulder as if to encourage me, and goes back to work. Huh? Is this all you wanted to talk about?
Yes, that's it. I was kind of itching to tell you, you know?
I look over at her back as she walks away, smiling in a playful manner. What she told me was not urgent enough to interrupt the scolding. Maybe she was just trying to help me? I'll do my best again to live up to her expectations. Thanks to her, I'm motivated again.
Damn, he always gets Manager Osaki's attention. Why? But chicks, huh? This will be useful.
At this time, I was unaware that Koyama was up to something again. And a few days later, the worst incident finally happens. Yes, this is Hayakawa, from the credit department at the head office.
Hayakawa-san, what happened to the check from Love Koi Trading that I sent over the other day?
Love Koi Trading? I'm sure it wasn't among the checks we received.
What? That can't be.
The girl in charge at the sales office is panicking. I'll check and get back to you as soon as I can. I said so and hung up the phone. I rushed to check the processing of the checks that have arrived, but I still can't find it. Manager, a check from Lovekoi Trading should have been sent to us, but...
Lovekoi Trading? I don't remember seeing it either.
If the manager hasn't seen it either, I'm sure I didn't process it.
Whoa, you finally lost a check? You've done it, Hayakawa!
Koyama grins and says in a very loud voice, and the office is in an uproar. That's no wonder. If a check was lost, it would be dishonored. And if it's the bank's fault, it's a major disaster. You lost a check? Hayakawa-kun, you finally did it, huh? You did a terrible thing. You can't complain now even if you get fired. Wait a moment, sir.
Please wait!
I finally raised my voice to protest, but was interrupted by Manager Osaki.
Koyama-kun, let me ask you something. Neither I nor Hayakawa-kun have ever said that we lost it. And yet you used the word lost. I wonder why.
Well, it's this useless guy, so I was sure he lost it.
Well then, please come in.
What?
Called by the manager, someone from the audit office comes in. Audit office is set up inside a bank. They conduct audits to determine whether the bank is in compliance with laws and regulations. It is also independent of the bank, of course.
They are now going to conduct an unannounced internal audit of the credit department.
What?
Banks are required to operate fairly and properly. For this reason, internal audits and audits by the government are often conducted.
I'm going to ask them to check everything in your desk, locker, and bags.
Wait a minute, manager. I didn't hear this.
Koyama protests to the manager with a panicked look on his face.
Oh? If you didn't do anything wrong, then there's no problem, right?
Well, that's...
The manager looks at Koyama with an eerie smile on her face. I guess she knows something. I'm watching you properly, the manager once said. And while Koyama is putting up a futile resistance, the audit goes on. Of course, everything around my desk is equally checked, but without any discovery. Then, the manager is called by the staff member in charge of the audit.
Oh my, that's strange. Why did the check come out of your bag? Hey, Koyama-kun.
Well, that's... He must have put it in my bag.
Enough. There's no way he would do such a thing.
Koyama-kun, what a thing you've done! This time, I can't cover up for you!
Sir? So you've been covering up for Koyama-kun until now?
What? Oh, no, I meant to say...
You don't have to make any more excuses, sir. I've been told from various sources that you were the one giving Koyama-kun preferential treatment with the help of a big client. And that it was all for your promotion.
Thus, thanks to the unannounced internal audit, Koyama's fraud was discovered. At the same time, we also found out that the director had been complicit with Koyama for his own promotion. Hey Koyama, you've been harassing me and blaming me for so many mistakes. And yet, I turned a blind eye to them because they were minor things that didn't lead to any major accidents. But this time, I won't let you get away with it. Dishonored checks lead to a serious disaster. And if the bank intentionally dishonored the check, the bank's credibility would crumble into pieces. What you've done could have destroyed all the trust that had been built up over the decades. It's the worst thing you could do as a banker, and as a human being. If you want to make an enemy of me, go ahead and make a move on me alone. Don't bring other people into this. The anger I've been bottling up for a long time erupted all at once. Koyama was frightened, but there was no room for sympathy. After this, I'm sure he will be punished accordingly. And after that, I was busy processing the check. Fortunately, the check was made payable to our bank, so I quickly transferred the balance between the accounts, and that was all. I sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. The manager and Koyama went around to apologize to all the parties concerned and got scolded severely. Koyama was judged by the higher-ups to have been at risk of committing embezzlement, and he was fired shortly. The director, who had been complicit in this for his own personal greed, was given the same treatment. And now, with Koyama and the director gone, the credit department is running smoothly, although it is supposed to be less staffed. Director Osaki, please approve this document.
Sure. You've become a really capable man, haven't you, Manager Hayakawa?
I was appointed department manager the next year, and Manager Osaki, at a very young age, rose to the position of the director. Our bank works to prevent fraud by not assigning the same people to the same department for a long time. I wonder how long I can work with Director Osaki in this position.
Hey, why don't we go celebrate our promotion together?
Oh, of course! I don't know if I'll be able to work closely with her again next year, but we are gradually deepening our private relationship in this way. Director Osaki has always believed in me and watched over my efforts. I hope to get to know her even better from now on.